goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
This video may get censored or taken down, but I'm not going to censor myself. So if you're sensitive, you can swipe away, move from the video. That's up to you. But this picture you're looking at here is a new burger store. It's a real place. It's not AI. It's not parody. It's called Big N. Yeah. They don't serve the burgers with regular white bread. Instead of that, they use dark black bread because, these are burgers. When you get the burger, they write this on the wrapper. Are you seeing this? So you basically order and eat with ketchup and fries. They play rap music in the store. Not Yasin Bey, not Dead Prez, not Common, Talib Kweli, Roots, Nas. No. They don't play any of that kind of music. They play trap music, grills, guns, drugs, booty shaking, music. They didn't call it my or real. It had to be big. So there's no language barrier. No. This is careful branding. And you want to guess where this place is? Argentina. 43,000 Instagram followers and listed on Rappi, which is the South American Uber Eats. So these guys are an official business, and the Argentine delivery ecosystem has actually accepted and delivers for these guys. So this means adults and teenagers from all over Buenos Aires and Argentina can order and eat Big. Now, I told you Argentina is the most racist country in the world. I told you how they wiped out their black community. Both times, Argentines were in my DMs in the comments calling me a liar. But Big is in history. It's right now with thousands of followers validating their existence. And you know what? On their profile, they post black people going to the place and showing them, eating and promoting it. Listen. We're a lost people. We're lost. And look at this dude here. He wants to bring a franchise to Queens, New York. Man, I want to be there in Queens when you open the store. It will be the opening and closing ceremony. Listen, I'm not angry. I'm excited. These guys know exactly what they're doing, and I love it. They're showing the world what Argentina really is, the most racist country in the world. They want the controversy because they know in Argentina, black people don't matter. They wiped most of them out anyway. So I want these guys to be number one. When you think of Argentina, I want you to think of Big Burger, because Argentina is a country where something like this can happen. And people laugh and say you're too sensitive while they eat. If they tried this in Brazil, in Rio, I don't think they make it out alive. Brazil is not Argentina, so people can now stop trying to compare it. Anyway, good luck to these guys. I'm sure my video will help their brand. Many will see this and support them out of spite because there is nothing a racist loves more than sticking it to the black man. So I hope they become the biggest fast food chain in Argentina. You are truly the ambassadors your country deserves. Like, follow, and share and comment podcasts to discover the true Africa. So this video may get sent.
Shout out to this brother, man. We got to have a conversation, people. Isn't that too much to ask? Some things are a term of endearment. I get that. A lot of our phrases in this culture is meant to be inspirational, uplifting. Like when you say my nigga, or you call someone champ, like there's terminology and different meanings behind your tone, pitch, and how you say it. What is wrong with us? Now, he's right. There's going to be a lot of bigoted people that's going to support it out of spite and then promote it on their social media accounts. That's one problem. The other problem is the fact that black people are supporting it, already supporting it. That's the issue. You said what? You're going to try to open one in New York? And then people are supposed to just get behind that idea? See, something is really wrong with us. Really. You think because it's a restaurant and because it got big nigga on it, that's some type of praise to black people as a culture. It's quite clear that people don't understand the history in Argentina, or they don't understand that these people that are using these terms and this psychology, you don't realize the science behind why they do it. It's not to uplift you or to big you up. It's to make you look like a fucking idiot. Am I lying though?
In 1800, about a third of Buenos Aires was black. And by 1875, the Argentine government had stopped counting black citizens in the census because there supposedly weren't enough left. Now, maybe it's just me, but when I hear something like that, I have questions because people don't just disappear. So, of course, I started digging. What I found was one of the wildest stories I've come across in a long time. See, a lot of people today genuinely believe that Argentina didn't have a significant black population, ever. If you ask some Argentines about black Argentinians, they'll probably tell you that black people just came there recently, that they're immigrants, that they've always been a tiny minority. But that's not what the history says. Black people helped build Buenos Aires. Black people fought in Argentina's wars for independence. Black people helped shape Argentine culture. Even parts of the tango trace back to Afro-Argentine traditions. So how do you go from a city where black people made up roughly a third of the population to a country where people grow up believing that black Argentinians barely exist? That's where the story gets ugly. Part of it was war. Black men were disproportionately pushed into military service and sent to fight in conflicts with devastating casualty rates. Part of it was disease. Yellow fever tore through Buenos Aires in 1871, and it hit black communities especially hard. But the more I read, the more I realize this wasn't just a story about tragedy. It was also a story about intention. Because there were powerful people in Argentina who openly believed that the country's future should be white. Not diverse, not multicultural, white. And unlike people today who hide behind coded language, these men wrote it down. One of the most famous was Domingo Faustino Sarmiento. He's celebrated in Argentina today. Schools named after him, streets named after him. A former president, a founding figure. And he argued openly that Argentina should be remade through European immigration. Then came something called the Blanqueamiento. Millions of European immigrants were encouraged to come to Argentina. The country changed rapidly. And while all that was happening, something else was happening too. The remaining Afro-Argentine population was slowly being erased. Not just from neighborhoods, from records, from census categories, from public memory. That's the part that got me. Because when most people hear the word erasure, they picture like burning books or something. But sometimes erasure looks a lot quieter than that. Sometimes it's changing categories. Sometimes it's deciding who gets counted, whose story gets told. And then a few generations pass. Right. And eventually people start saying, there were never any black people here. What are you talking about? And what keeps sticking with me is that Afro-Argentines never fully disappeared. Their descendants are still there. Their history is still there. Their contributions are still there. The thing that disappeared was the acknowledgement. Right. And honestly, I think that's one of the scariest forms of erasure, because once a country forgets who helped build it, it becomes a whole lot easier to pretend that those people never mattered in the first place. A third of Buenos Aires was black. And that should be common knowledge. The fact that it isn't is part of the story.
I had a conversation once with somebody at work. It was about infrastructure. It was about building with your own hands. And the pride that he took into it, because he did construction, electrical work. He had so many different certifications. And I mean, he started late, but he persevered through his hardships and still managed to get out here and be in the world contributing. And he was talking about the one specific building that he had helped basically structure. And he said something that always stuck with me, which it brought me back to this. And he said, you see that wall right there, or you see this wiring, my footprint is on that. When you go to such and such, I'm responsible for that. I might not be there no more, but I can say at the end of the day, I am a part of history. I'm a part of this. And what I want people to understand with this particular situation is you look at these phrases and listen to this music, and you connect it to a culture that is actually not even associated with it historically. It's something that you've created upon your own land, your own mindset, your own personal worldly system. So to you, it sounds cool, exciting, fun, finally something for Black people. To anyone with common sense or someone who understands the history behind a lot of what we see out here, seats, chairs, benches, porches, houses, a lot of that stuff came with a cost and a price, and it has the blood and sweat of somebody who never got acknowledged for it, or they were just completely eradicated from existence while someone else took credit for it. So while y'all are pouring into these businesses, into these people, you don't understand that you're getting spit directly in your face without even realizing it. So I'll never partake of this. I find it insulting. I will never even go to Argentina. I'm sure everybody's not like that, but I guarantee you, you would definitely have a mixed reaction. Absolutely disrespectful. I can't stand how we get behind certain stuff, champion it, but then we don't do nothing about it once we come into the knowledge of what it's really about. But then we'll be going back and forth with each other over some of the most ridiculous things, man. It's retarded. Anyway, yeah, I'm food for thought. Y'all do with this information what you will. I'm just a messenger. Even I wasn't that familiar with the history of Argentina, but it is what it is, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.